Hey guys, my name is Angela Cooper. I teach 5th and 6th grade math. Welcome to Boddle Learning. This is my cool tool, and I'm going to walk you through the student side and also the teacher side. This web-based program makes math engaging for your students, and it offers the ease of differentiation and progress monitoring for us teachers. So join me, and let's step into the student side of this amazing learning opportunity. So from here, when students first log in, they're able to customize their bottle creation, and they're also assigned a placement test. We'll come back and talk more about things on this home screen, but first let's move into our assessment. Now I have already logged in as a student because my students like to battle me, as we'll talk about in just a few minutes. So from the quiz mode, let's talk about what you'll see and how we navigate through this. So your students are given various questions. So let's say that they answered incorrectly. This is what they would see. They'll be offered an explanation as to why they missed it. Let's go into the next question. Now, let's say the student needs to use the pen tool. They're able to do so like this. They want to erase. They simply click on that button and erase. If your students need to be read to, it has that capability also. Now, let's say your students are working at home, which is one of my favorite parts of Boddle. What do they do if they forget how to work it? Well, there's an embedded link to a video. So there's an example for you. Once the students have answered 3 questions consecutively correctly, then they have the opportunity to spin the wheel. When they spin the wheel, they earn points. And in those points, they get coins and water droplets. So from these coins and water droplets, the students are able to buy things. I'll show you that in just a second. So from our dashboard, we have the quiz mode, which is what we're currently in. They can also battle a friend in their classroom. They can go to pet battles down here, and they can use their pets that they get to buy in the store, and they get to use those coveted water droplets in order to go to the arcade. So let's go back to our dashboard and talk about what students see. There's a backpack that stores all the things that they have bought from their shop. This is the shop in which they buy things from their water droplets that they and the coins that they earn from playing those games, which are actually tied back to math. And also, you as the teacher are able to assign them things to work on that you can use for a grade or just a quick assessment to see if your students are grasping the concepts taught. So let's go from the student side of things to the teacher side of things. All right, here we go. All right, this is the teacher dashboard. From here, you can add a new classroom. You can invite parents so they can follow along and track students' progress. And the thing I love most about this is that you can import your class list from Google Classroom. We're going to step inside the 6th grade classroom so I can show you around and introduce you to the tools that I use through Boddle. So this just kind of shows you a weekly dashboard of some of the skills we've been practicing and overall class average for both of my 6th grade classes. Some of the skills that we've been working on, and if you hover over those skills, it'll kind of show you their mastery in each skill level. It also shows you the hours and minutes they've spent working, how many skills were mastered, any learning gaps, and all the sessions that you have done. Here are the current assignments that we've been working on over the last week. From the top, you can preview the game that you're assigning your students to work on. You have your class code. On this side, this home button will take you back to your dashboard. The live feed lets you look at your students as they are working on things in your classroom. If you assign something for them to do at home, you can also use this just to kind of see who's doing the work and who's not, and maybe who needs help or somebody you need to talk to the next day. This is a list of students. This is where you find your assignments. Now, the good thing about assigning things inside Boddle, I mentioned earlier that they offer differentiation, and it does, because let's say that you have some students who aren't quite getting the skill or the concept on grade level. Well, you're able to choose your grade level. So if you had a group of students that just weren't understanding what you were teaching, you could dip back down into the grade below and try to find something maybe a little easier for them to work on, or perhaps a skill that would back up what you're teaching. We also have skills that are in other grades that you can pick back up in case the student's kind of missing some spots in their math education. So from here, let's say that we were working on ratios. So you can pick the skills you're working on, click done, and then from here, you would assign your students. And let's say I forgot to select a skill. So I'm going to go here and pick another skill. And then I'm going to go here to select my students. It's pretty quick. You just do this. And then this selection down here lets you decide if you're going to do the questions randomly or if you want them in sequence. Some of my students, we have to chunk material. So if it is done in sequence, that kind of helps them keep the ideas organized. You can also choose how many questions you want to use. It's a click of a button. You just decide here how many you want to use, and you can schedule it for later, or you can start that assignment immediately, depending on what your needs are. It also has a report section that you can go in and track to see if your kids are making progress. You can identify those kids that need extra help. Maybe you identify some things that your kids haven't learned yet. So it kind of just tells you where you need to go with your instruction in your classroom based upon what they're working on. This is mostly based off of the placement test they've taken. And you can pull up these charts and graphs. This tells you how many skills they've mastered out of how many are covered in Boddle. So there's 191 skills covered. And also will tell you their performance. So we use this a lot when we have our data meetings at our school. Anyway, this is Boddle, and I hope that you will take the opportunity to investigate it, check it out. It is free. That's probably the best thing about this. It is free to use, and it's very user-friendly.